Video được Việt hóa bởi Ngọc Tân từ group tài nguyên dựng phim. Nghiêm cấm các hành vi lít về rồi bán cho thằng khác. Mọi ý kiến đóng góp xin gửi về Facebook Quỳnh Ngọc Tân.
Let's take a look at the interface of the media page. Right now, I have our work project open just to show you some of the interface so that it makes a little bit of sense. And then we're going to walk through actually importing some media in the next lesson. But let's start with the obvious. Right here is our main viewer. And this is where we can preview any kind of media, whether it's video or audio. We can do that by just double clicking on any of these thumbnails that show up here or here. And we can scrub through and take a look at what our footage is. This lower section here is called our media pool. The media pool is where everything is imported to when you put it into the project. So any kind of media that is actually in your project lives in the media pool. So in this project, we have a bunch of footage imported, and we can take a look at each one by double clicking on it and loading it into the viewer. I can also just mouse over it and kind of scrub throughout this thumbnail and take a look at it really quickly. In the upper left here, we have our media storage. Now, these kind of sound similar, media storage and media pool. And the media pool is where all of your media is stored. But here's the way that I look at it. Media storage is where it's actually physically stored. So like we talked about in one of our earlier concepts lessons, all of your media is actually stored on your hard drive. And so this is a way to look at the media that's on your hard drive, and the media pool is the media that's imported into the project, which again still lives on the hard drive, but your project is actually looking at it. Whereas up here in the media storage, you're just kind of navigating to different files on your computer. So here I can have terabytes and terabytes of media, but they don't actually exist in the project until I grab one and drag it into the media pool. Now, I have this clip inside of our project. Over here on the right side of our interface, we have our audio meters. So if I bring up a clip and scrub through it, we can see these little meters popping up here. And this is a great way to know what channels you have in your piece of media, because a video could have, 16 channels of audio. And that's a great visual way to actually know what the heck is going on and how loud they are. Below the meters, we have our metadata. This metadata panel is all of the details about whatever clip we have selected. So I'll double click on this clip. That'll bring it up here in our metadata panel, and I can see quite a bit of information about what the heck this is. In fact, there's even more information if I go up here to this little drop down. This is just the clip details. You can actually add quite a bit of information by selecting any of these other ones. So for instance, shot and scene, if I click this, I can actually add a description or comments or keywords or a whole bunch of stuff and tag this clip with all of this information. So depending on how crazy we want to get, we can scrub through this clip and kind of write a little report about what happens, which for some workflows, if you're working with a bunch of people or it's going to be a really long time before you look at this shot again, that might be really useful. So we can do something like the kids approach the crash site. We could add some comments, 3 takes in this one. And we can get just as detailed as we want to get, which we are going to actually look at here in a little bit. There are some more panels kind of behind these other ones, but this is really the major interface inside of the media page. This is the stuff that you're going to use most often. So we have the viewer up here. We have the media pool where all of our media for our project lives. We have our media storage that navigates through anything on our whole computer. We have our audio meters and our metadata panel. And now you should know enough to kind of get around in the media page.
Video được Việt hóa bởi Ngọc Tân từ group tài nguyên dựng phim.